So the videos, the Q&A videos are uploading quicker than I expected them to. So I'm going to go ahead and do part 3 here today and try to upload it before I have to leave here at 8:45. So let's get right into it here. And the questions come. The first set come from Kingpin88, and his question was, "What is your top 5 favorite matches?" Wrestling matches, and the first one hands down has got to be the Royal Rumble, and the main reason I say that is you get to see a majority of your favorite wrestlers all in one match together, depending on how long, of course, they stay in the ring. But it's such an innovative match type that you know quite frankly, it gives you a world heavyweight title shot at WrestleMania, so you're guaranteed, in a roundabout way, guaranteed a main event push right then and there. The second one I would have to say is the the Ultimate X match, because it takes the concept almost of a ladder match, except instead of having a ladder in the ring, you have to climb the turnbuckle and climb across the rope to get the title or the X, depending on what type of prize is in the match. And really, that's probably one of the most innovative X Division matches I've ever seen, other than, of course, the Steel Asylum match. Ultimate X is probably my second favorite match type right there. My third would probably have to be the King of the Mountain match, which is essentially an inverted ladder match, and once again, it's just something new that you've not seen before. It's a ladder match, but you have to hang the title instead of take the title down, and I just thought that was a great match type right there. My next one would probably have to be the Cell match, and I'm kind of worried about the pay-per-view that's mainly going to be focused on the Cell match coming up, and I'm afraid that it's going to be more of a, how do I put, just another type of match instead of a special type of match that takes place. Because my two favorite matches that stand out in my mind, and this is probably one that stand out in a lot of people's mind, are Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and Undertaker and Mankind. We've seen Mankind get thrown off the top of the cell. We've seen, Shawn Michaels go through a table after getting his hand stomped on top of the cell. I mean, they were fighting on top of the cage, and that was something you hadn't ever seen before. And then probably my fifth one would have to be the Elimination Chamber, or a tie between the Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank both, because Money in the Bank, once again, a ladder match, but the prize is you get a briefcase in which you can trade in at any point during the year for a World Heavyweight title match. And of course, the Elimination Chamber, because you got 6 main guys on the roster fighting for either a world title or a number 1 contendership. And it's essentially, it's kind of got almost the concept of a Royal Rumble with the eliminations type idea, or a Survivor Series if you want to go with it, but puts it into a singles competition with 6 guys, 6 of the main guys, and they're in chambers, and they're released in certain intervals, which is the Royal Rumble aspect of it. So those are my top 5 favorite match types. The next one is what are the top 5 worst gimmicks ever, and I could go on with a list of bad gimmicks, and I really can't make a top 5. You had the Goon, you had T.L. Hopper, you had Isaac Yanks from DDS, which was how Kane got his start in WWE mainly. You have there was one guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he was like a hunter type guy. That was a bad gimmick. The Gobbledygooker was a bad gimmick. The list could go on and on. Mosh, when he was the preppy guy, the Leave It to Beaver type character, that was a bad gimmick. Eugene, I think, is a bad gimmick. because it's poking fun. It mentally challenged people. I really can't make a top 5 of the worst gimmicks, but those are some of the ones that pop into my head first thing. The third question from Kingpin88 is, if WWE paid you a good amount of money to dance in the ring like Big Dick Johnson, would you do it? LOL. And the answer to that is no, because that is once again another bad gimmick right there. And it's really, it's just a stupid character altogether, and I dance crazy sometimes, but I will not dance crazy at that certain, even if they paid me a lot of money to do it in the ring in front of a lot of people. So thank you for those questions there, Kingpin88. The next one comes from Mr. Kiwi 101 and says, with the upcoming Breaking Point pay-per-view just around the corner, it occurred to me that WWE has very few main event wrestlers nowadays with submission finishers, and the only two they named was Cena and Undertaker. WWE has had many great main eventers with submission finishers in the past, and he uses the examples of Chris Benoit, Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, Mankind. So why do you think there has been a decline? Should WWE bring more superstars with submission finishers into the main event? And what will SmackDown do at Breaking Point, as its only submission wrestler, The Undertaker, is out of action? I hadn't really thought about it until, I read this question, but there is not many, like you said, there's not many people with submission finishers, and really, I don't know how they're going to do that. CM Punk used to do the Anaconda Vice. Great Khali has the Vice grip. I mean, there's not really that, and really Chris Benoit, Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, all of them were great submission wrestlers back in the day. Ken Shamrock was a great submission wrestler, and I really don't know what the decline was. I think they're more focused on, like, they took a lot of this focus away from what am I looking for? The wrestling and all that aspect of it, which is what submission wrestling basically was basically wrestling. I really don't know why it declined, really. I think they need to bring CM Punk back with his Anaconda Vice, and they certainly need to start building up some people with submission finishers. Big Show has a Colossal Clutch, which is just basically a camel clutch. John Morrison has the I can't think of the name of it, but it's basically the STF leg aspect of it, and he basically bends backwards. And I can't think of the name of it, but that's a submission move right there that he's got. Shawn Michaels sometimes uses the crippler crossface like or like Chris Benoit used to do. So they certainly need to bring more superstars in to the main event with some sort of submission finisher, especially if they're going to have a submission pay-per-view. So, Mr. Kiwi 101, thank you for those questions. So, this has been part 3. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to get started on getting this edited and uploaded. And as always, feel free to send me questions. I love doing these videos. I might not make them as often now that I'm back at school and whatnot. But with that being said, you guys take it easy. Have a great weekend, and peace out.